It's bright and sunny at Fern Bay for round 4 of the MRc RX Rallycross Championship. Season 4 is almost over. We're at Fern Bay at the custom MRc RX Rallycross track with the 6 competitors that we've seen all season long, those 6 lovely mods there on your screen. Welcome along to Sim Broadcasts on your Sunday evening. This is the penultimate round of our championship this year. And let's get straight underway, shall we? We are going to be having 4-lap heat races tonight and a 5-lap final around the 1 kilometre, 0.6 mile MRc Rallycross track here at Fern Bay. This event, of course, sanctioned as always by the New Dimension Racing team, organised by Master Race Car in Live the Speed. Here are those mods that I mentioned moments ago: the Shanker T16, the Saab 93 T16, the Lemon Arrow, and the Fraud Wheeler, with all of these having been put together by Tim Ducknotter and Co. And these 2 mods, the Ada RX and the Fraud Hooney MRC by Rog Nilsson. So we've seen all these cars this year so far, and it looks like we've got a good turnout again this evening to see plenty more action with these great mods that have been put together for this competition. 2 rounds to go, including tonight's action, the finale next week at West Hill RX2 on February 2nd. Please join us, of course, for the final round to see who will take the big trophy at the end of the season. As it currently stands, we have who do we have at the top of the championship? Of course, it is Sindra Silva leading the way by a colossal amount of points, ahead of Daniel Lundqvist, Robin Nilsson, Martin Palm, Victor Israels, Rasmus Lindberg, Robin Johansson, Michael Malik, Tim Ducknotter, and Jimmy Carlson. Currently, that's the way your standings look. We are moments away then from the start of the first round, so we can get the grids on the screen right now for the actual first race that we're going to see tonight, and that is going to be between Tim Ducknotter, Gerard Fornelez, Gregory Tilson, Jelle Ducknotter, and Martin Palm. Gregory, a new driver in the competition this week, and as you can see, we have 15 competitors, so we're going to have 3 races per heat this evening, so it's going to be quite straightforward. Quick races, so they're over as soon as they begin, these things, so you've got to pay attention from the very beginning. But yeah, the second heat will be between Michael Malik, Robin Nilsson, Robin Johansson, Nuno Cardozo, Emil Wernerson, Timu Sarkinen, Daniel Lundqvist, Victor Israels, Victor Oscarson, and Sindra Silva will be in the third heat, and we are good to go in about 30 seconds time for that first heat race. If you do like the look of this, then you can get involved from next week, during the finale. If you do fancy it, sign-ups are still open over on the Live for Speed forum. Head to the New Dimension Racing subsection under Events and Leagues, and you can find all the information you need to sign up for round 5 on February the 2nd. So yeah, the first race coming up tonight is 4 laps plus a joker lap for all these guys, with Tim Ducknotter, Gerard Fornelez, Gregory Tilson, Jelle Ducknotter, and Martin Palm. The grid is being set as we speak, and we should head to the track right now to get this show on the road. Drivers are all lined up on the grid. There they are, the lovely cars all waiting to get going on our start line as we wait for the lights, and we are green straight away. As we look at it, we've got Fornelez in the middle. To his left, it's Tim Ducknotter, and into the lead goes Martin Palm, starting this race the way he finished last time. Remember, P2 overall at the end of last week's racing, but he's dropped back to P3 at this point. It's Ducknotter and who have we got? It's both the Ducknotters at the front, actually, Jelle and Tim, but Tim takes the lead at the early stages with Fornelez going through the joker on this very first lap. Around the final corner already for Tim Ducknotter, and up to the start-finish line. A very quick lap, as I said. And we're on to lap 2 already. And, well, Jelle Ducknotter went from first to the back and now back up to P2 and is under pressure from Martin Palm. We've lost a driver. We've lost Tilson. Tilson has decided to abort his first run as Palm decides to take the joker. It's not that big of a joker today. It's just an extra kind of deep apex, and Palm comes out ahead of Fornelez, so a good joker there for Martin Palm. Fornelez couldn't do enough to get that place back doing the undercut, so Tim Ducknotter will know that Palmer's come out ahead of Thornles and will be feeling quite confident going into the second half of this first race of the evening. And yeah, this is the fourth instalment of the Master Race Car Championship by MRc, and it's coming to an end, but we still have two fantastic rounds of racing to come. Looking forward to tonight's action a lot, especially interested to see if Sindra Silva can make it 4 out of 4, as we've got Yellow Not very close out of the Joker alongside Thornles, but he is pushed to the back. Martin Palm opening up a bit of a gap on Thornles now, but pretty close for fourth place. Remember, it's not about where you finish in these heat races, it's about your overall time. So if you're in a quick heat, then you're more likely to place higher up for the finals at the end of the evening, as Tim Dicknodder has absolutely streaked ahead here, and he's going to have no pressure at all going into the Joker. Let's watch him through it and see if it's clean. Onto the grass, over the track, back onto the grass, through these sort of reeds, and then out into a clear track, which you will absolutely enjoy. And it's Martin Palm who takes second place then in this one. As we come up to the last couple of corners, we have one flick and it's over for Tim Dicknodder. Bit laborious, hits the second to last apex, but onto the home straight and across the start-finish line, Tim Dicknodder wins. And it's a quick heat, that, but we'll see how it compares to the rest of them this evening. So the first heat is concluded, 2 minutes 52. Keep an eye out for that race time. That is the benchmark race time that everybody else has to compete against. Martin Palm, P2, Thornles, P3, Yellow Dicknodder, P4, and a DNF for Thilson as our next grid lines up. They will slalom their way out of the pit lane and gear up for the second race in Heat 1 tonight. And that's going to be between Michael Malik, Robin Nilsson, Robin Johansson, Nuno Cardozo, and Emil Wernersen. Here we go. The drivers eager to get going. We've got Robin Johansson in the bright yellow. Sorry, Nilsson in the bright yellow. Johansson next to him in the middle. As we head down to the first corner, taking a very wide line in there is Wernersen. The car sideways before they even reached the corner. And it's Nilsson into the lead. And there's a spin there for Cardozo and Malik at the back. Sorry, no, Malik's got it back going again, but Wernersen also involved there. Clean break for Nilsson and Johansson. And Malik has been punted around again, so he hasn't even made it round towards the Joker at all. And that's a terrible start to the evening for Michael Malik. He had a difficult time in every single round so far, and it starts with a difficult situation yet again. But all of our drivers, bar our race leader, have been through the Joker already. Nilsson off and away with a 3.5 second lead over Johansson, who takes it over the first crest nicely and has to try to close down on Nilsson before he takes the Joker. Will he take it now? No, he stays out, so he's going to keep the clean air for as long as he can. Try and open that gap up as early as possible. Johansson there, nice line through turn number 4. Followed nicely by Cardozo and Wernersen. But Malik now 8 seconds adrift. That's going to be a terrible time for his first heat. But remember, only your best 2 heats combined will place you for the finals, as we've got Wernersen battling hard with Cardozo. Contact as we head on to lap number 3. Cardozo in the bright orange and black, and he hits the wall. Wernersen around the outside. Dramatic driving style from Wernersen, sideways everywhere he can be, as Nilsson goes through the Joker, completes his Joker run, and comes out with daylight between himself and Robin Johansson. So an ideal start to the evening for Robin Nilsson. 2 minutes 52 was the race time that Tim Dicknodder managed to do. Tim, if you remember back to last week in his interview, said he needed to do a lot more practice this week if he wanted to be competitive. Well, it started well for him, and we'll have to see how that compares to Robin Nilsson as he starts his final lap now. What is his race time going to be? No need to take the Joker, of course. Just one Joker per driver per heat. That's all they have to give, unless they get a penalty, in which case they may have to do more than one, as mandated by race control. Tagging the tyres somewhat there for Nilsson. That's going to spray a bit of rubber in front of Johansson, but no issue. Around the final corner and a cross start finish for Robin Nilsson. He will take the win in race number 2, closely followed by Johansson, Wernerson, final corner for Cardozo, and then it's going to be a little bit of a wait for Michael Malik. Sindra Silva is so impatient, he's already joined the track for the next heat. He's already on the grid as we just about finish the racing then. And here are your results for race number 2. Robin Nilsson, 2:52, the same race time pretty much as Tim Ducknodder. So very closely matched at the top of the grid already tonight. Johansson, Wernerson, Cardozo and Malik finished behind, but 21-second deficit there for Michael. He needs to do better in his next 2 heats. Otherwise, he's going to have a hard charge through the finals to try and get any sort of points tally from this event. We've got warnings for Robin Johansson, Wernerson and Malik for avoidable contact. That would have been that big crash that happened at turn 4 at the beginning of this heat that we've just seen. So the 86, 66 and 47 all with penalties, or rather with warnings there. Here we go then into our final race of heat number 1. It's Teemu Sarkkinen, Daniel Lundqvist, Victor Israels, Victor Oskarsson and Sindra Silva. And they are away as we head down towards the finish line as they go across it now. We've got Teemu Sarkkinen now on the inside, but forced out by Daniel Lundqvist. It's a good start, but contact already at the back. And Sindra Silva being pushed off into the wall by Victor Oskarsson. And that's probably the most drama that Sindra's seen all season long, but more drama still as Oskarsson and Sarkkinen both spun round. There's going to be more warnings being handed out here for sure. Super dramatic at the beginning of this race, and I do not see Sindra Silva clawing this one back. This is going to be his first non-race win of the whole championship so far at this rate. Mind you, he's already up to P2. Unbelievable stuff. I'd written him off, and he's already back up to P2. Gets past Victor Israels there into turn 5, and through the final chicane, he takes over P2 again. Unbelievable stuff. In fact, he's still got sight of Lundqvist, so don't rule him out yet. I already had, but don't rule him out. Lundqvist with a 2.9 second lead. You will have seen Sindra Silva getting caught up in that incident, and maybe this is his opportunity to take that Joker. Israels has already taken the Joker. That's interesting. Yep, Lundqvist goes in. Does Silva go in? No, Silva stays out. He wants to try and get this done on the track, but it's not going to work. Look, Lundqvist is out ahead, and it's disaster at the first time of asking for Sindra Silva tonight. He's got a lot of work to do to try and get this back. So let's see what happens. Exciting stuff. The drivers will be licking their lips, rubbing their hands, doing all sorts to make us aware that they're happy that it's going to be a more difficult evening potentially for Sindra Silva. Let's see how the end of this heat fares for him. Victor Israels might get Sindra here. Let's see what happens as Sindra goes for the Joker lap. Is he going to take it this time around? No, he's not. He's making it difficult for himself. He's going to try and take the lead on the track. In fact, as you can see, as we ride on board with Victor, you've got Sindra and Lundqvist both knocking 9 bells out of each other into turn 5, and Sindra is into the lead, but can he open up enough of a gap to take back P1? That'd be absolutely amazing if he can. He's pushing as hard as he likes. Lundqvist is right there. Victor Israels as well, but actually I think the gap between Victor and Sindra has opened up such that Sindra might be able to get P2 here. Let's see what happens. Surely this is Lundqvist's time to get one up on Sindra, but it could be close. The Joker is not that long. Sindra's had a good exit. We're going to watch on board from Lundqvist, and Lundqvist has done it, and Sindra comes out in P3. Now it's a fight between Israels and Lundqvist to the line, and Lundqvist is wide. That's going to open an opportunity for Victor. Contact in the back of our race leader, and Sindra is right there. It's Lundqvist that leads. Israel's up the inside, but could it be a shock? Yes, almost. It's who's going to come across the line first? Almost Sindra Silva, but Israel's is registered as our winner after chaos at the line. Lundqvist takes P2, Silva takes P3. but that could have been oh so very different. And we have a contact warning for Oscarson at the end of that race as well. So drama in race number 3 there. Absolutely epic stuff. And let's get the results of the final race for heat number 1. And it's Victor Israel's with a 2:54, not a fast heat at all. There's going to be a number of drivers starting ahead of these guys with an advantage into heat 2. So all of the drivers in this heat clearly with the caliber to score faster race times than that, but they all tripped over each other into turn 4, and that's what happens. Deco is a race director, Jonathan Palmer, Deco Jester, is currently looking at the previous race to see if there's anything else, the final corner, to see what's if there's anything else that needs to be dished out. But as it stands, Victor Israel is credited with the win, Lundqvist second and Silver third, but not necessarily the start that any of those guys would have wanted. As we look at our provisional results, it's Tim Ducknodder leading the way after Heat 1 with Robin Nilsson, Victor Israels, Daniel Lundqvist and Sindra Silver there down in P5. Martin Palm, Robin Johansson, Gerard Fornelez, Jelle Ducknodder, Emil Wernerson, Timo Sarkinen, Victor Oscarson, Nuno Cardozo, Michael Malik and Gregory Thilson with that DNF down in 15th place. But my, what a first heat we had. It's a bit of a shake-up. And, well, Tim Ducknodder doing everything he needs to do at this stage of the evening's proceedings to take P1 after heat number 1. Remember, however, the order is pretty much reset for the start of heat 2, and we are going to have some different drivers than we normally see in the mix this time out. Let's take a look at the grids for heat 2. Timo Sarkinen, Victor Oscarson, Nuno Cardozo, Michael Malik and Gregory Thilson are going to be taking their place for race number 1 of heat 2. Let's go. Race control, slick as you like, in the background getting everything prepared for heat 2, and we are ready to rumble. From right to left, it's Sarkinen, Oscarson, Cardozo, Malik and Thilson, and we are green. Away for heat 2. And it's a great start from Michael Malik. This is just what he needs. Can he hold the lead into turn 1? He's on the outside line. It's a risky position to cut back across, and there is slight contact, but it's Michael Malik hard into the wall. Oscarson forced down to the back. Cardozo potentially up to P2, but it's Timo Sarkinen leading the way at the beginning of race number 4 of the evening, and it's side-by-side contact again between Malik and Cardozo. This pairing and this grouping of drivers, they love to have door-to-door collisions all the time, and again Michael Malik finds himself in a huge smash with Thilson, and the horn's going. He's not happy with that at all, and understandably so. What action we have this evening. Not necessarily the action the drivers want, but great from a commentary position, that's for sure, as Timo Sarkinen has a dream getaway, 4-second lead over Victor Oscarson. Cardozo and Malik, the only drivers having done their joker at this point, as we head through onto lap number 2 only in heat number 2 for these guys. And Michael spun it coming into turn 2. He was backwards and somehow manages to get past Gregory Thilson there. But Timo Sarkinen out in the lead. Handsome lead it is at the moment. Next we've got Victor Oscarson in the green topped Adder. And then Michael Malik somehow up into, he's up into P4 on our timing, which means we must have missed Cardozo. Yeah, Cardozo currently in P2. My apologies. And everybody else, other than our race leader, has done the joker now. They've served that joker lap. Let's see if Sarkinen decides to do it now or on the final time around. Yeah, he's going to leave it till the final time around. He wants to keep that track position, and I think he'll have plenty of it. Cardozo is 6 seconds back at this stage. Then it's Oscarson, Malik, and Thilson. And I'm sure the stewards are already looking into the drama on the first lap, because that was a dramatic first lap indeed. Let's see if Cardozo can get a better run of results this week. He's not had the greatest of results this season so far, but so far so good in heat number 2. He chases Timo Sarkinen, who's looking to get the top time, of course, after this race. He's had a pretty clean break, so it's all down to him. There's nobody else to mess up his weekend. Little bit of a difficult line through the joker there, as Thilson receives a contact warning from our race control, and that was for the hit into Michael Malik that we saw just out of the Joker 2 laps ago. And through the final corner comes Teemu Sarkkinen to take the win in race 4. Next is going to be Cardozo off the wall in P2. Oskarsson will be credited with P3. Malik P4, another dismal heat for him. And we just wait for Gregory Thilson, who clouts off the penultimate apex and sort of trundles his way around the final corner to the finish. There we are then, the final classification for Heat 2, race number 1. Teemu Sarkkinen in at 2:55, so 3 seconds slower than Heat 1. But that will probably be because of all the drama that happened at the beginning of the race. So not the greatest of times, but still pretty competitive from Teemu. And then Cardozo, Oskarsson, Malik and Tilson follow in behind. Race number 2 for Heat 2 is going to be between Martin Palm, Robin Johansson, Gerard Fournières, Jelle Dicknodde and Emil Wernersen. And here we go. Martin Palm in the teal and white livery on the right-hand side has the best line into turn 1 as it currently stands, as we are away for race number 2. And Gerard Fournières already being bullied around by Wernersen there. And he's been forced very, very wide. Oh, slightly unfair there. But anyway, the race continues. Martin Palm and Jelle Dicknodde coming off the doors of one another as Wernersen there makes it past Jelle Dicknodde. Martin Palm trying to go around the outside on Johansson. But Johansson decides to go into the Joker with Martin instead. And it's Wernersen who takes over the lead of race number 2 for Heat 2. Palm now down to P4 and Jelle in P5. And Fournières there, well, he's got a lot of work to do. He's behind Johansson, who's already been through the Joker, and he's got 2 cars who've done the Joker right behind him as well. Gerard Fournières needs to do a lot of fast driving in the remaining 3 laps of this race. But I think Martin Palm has other news for him. Very eager to get through. As we see there, Fournières decides to go into the Joker. And he's going to come out behind Palm ahead of Dicknodde. And Wernersen is still out without that Joker lap being completed at this stage. Doesn't matter though, still got time. Close between Johansson and Palm. These guys will just be trying to get the fastest race time they can. They would have seen that previous heat and wondered what on earth everyone was doing. Too chaotic for past race times. But now these two also make contact. Johansson forced a bit wide by Palm, who overshot the apex into turn 2. Into turn 3. And they just saw the nose of Fournières, who seems to be closing up slightly. But it's so great to see very, very different shapes of cars all competing on essentially a level playing field here. Brilliant stuff in Master Race Car Rallycross Championship. Up to the final corner we come. Wernersen onto the final lap, but still to serve that Joker lap. I don't know if he's built up enough of an advantage. He might have done. Johansson's been dinged and pushed by Martin Palm a couple of times already, and it's going to happen again here, potentially. No, very different lines into turn 2 for these guys. And Fournières really has closed up as Wernersen goes into the Joker. It's a nice line through there, and he will come out in the lead with quite a big lead as well. So a great result at this stage for Emil Wernersen. Robin Johansson still feeling the pressure from Martin Palm, but how is this going to end? Martin Palm, very, very strong round last time out, but not going his way necessarily this evening. He'll be happy to just have a clean finish to this one, I think, as across the line we come to finish race number 2. Wernersen will be credited with that win. And it's a 2:56, so slightly slower than the first race in heat number 1. In heat number 2. Johansson, Palm, Fournières and Dicknodde, your 5 finishes for race number 5 this evening. So our final race for heat 2 is going to be between Tim Dicknodde, Robin Nilsson, Victor Israels, Daniel Lundqvist and Sindre Silva. They're all lined up ready to go. So here we go. The lights are long hold green, and we're away. And it's not a good start from Israel's, already losing half a car length to everybody else as Sindra goes up over the grass, and that slows him down a bit. He's forced back to 4th place, and it's another great start from Daniel Lundqvist. Robin Nilsson out at the front. Lundqvist there at the back with Sindra. Oh, and it's a big forced muscle through turn 2. Everyone trying to push their way through. Oh, and Nilsson was not happy with Victor Israel's, I think. There was a big shove into the back of him there. Maybe a bit of retaliation, bit of red mist coming down after being spun around at turn 2. But this group of cars absolutely livid with one another, and somehow Sindra Silva has managed to get himself to the front of the race. Lundqvist, it's a bad line into the final corner, helped around by Victor Israel's. Israel's up to P2, Ducnoda into P3. Lundqvist takes over P4, but Nilsson's been forced all the way down to the back. And let's see what happens here as they come into turn number 2. Nilsson is going to be furious with the cars ahead of him after this. Ducnoda and Nilsson already having done the Joker, remember, so Lundqvist will probably want to get that out of the way now as well. Yes, he does. Lundqvist into the Joker. And Nilsson sets his sights on Tim Ducnoda, the only other driver who's done the Joker. Sindra Silva already out in the lead by 2.5 seconds over Victor Israel's. And it's a very, very smooth driving style, as we always see from Sindra. Calm, precise, and he starts the 3rd lap with a healthy lead over the rest of the field. 4.5 seconds ahead of Tim Ducnoda, and I think that'll be plenty enough for him to get out in the lead if he chooses to do his Joker. He does not on this occasion. He wants to stretch that advantage even further before potentially compromising his race. As we go through turn number 6, through the first chicane. And onto the final lap then for the number 1. Victor Israel's close behind, 2.7 seconds now. And we're hearing from race control that car 71 will be disqualified from Heat 2 after the incident at the beginning of this race. So Daniel Lundqvist will receive a disqualification from this race and therefore this heat, as Victor Israel's does emerge in P3. Tim Ducnoda managed to get the jump on him, so very nice driving again from Tim Ducnoda. That'll be 1 apiece for Tim and Sindra, as around the final corner comes Sindra Silva to cross the line, wins Heat 2. That'll be a sigh of relief for him. Tim will be pretty happy with that as well. The race time not as fast as their first heat race at all. Not as fast as the fastest heat race. It's 2:53 for Sindra on this occasion. But still faster than these guys managed in their first heat. So yeah, let's look at that result. 2:53 for Sindra Silva. Tim just 2.5 seconds behind, managing to get the jump on Victor there. Then Robin Nilsson, P4, and Daniel Lundqvist will be disqualified from that race. So he will take no, well, obviously, he will be able to rejoin for Heat 3, but his result from Heat 2 will not count towards his final score for the finals. That was the final race for heat number 2. Let's take a look at the results then. There you can see Daniel Lundqvist has been disqualified, but that means Sindra Silva took the fastest lap time in heat number 2 with Timo Sarkkinen, Tim Ducnoda, Emil Wernersen, Victor Israel's, Robin Nilsson, Robin Johansson, Martin Palm, Gerard Fornelez, and Nuno Cardozo, your top 10. And also hearing that Victor Israel's also got a warning during that heat as well. So he's on a yellow card going into Heat 3. So we'll see if that has an impact. He needs to keep himself very clean through the final heat races this evening. Sindra Silva also with a contact warning. That was lap 1, turn 1 to 2. So a lot of drivers receiving penalties, or rather warnings, for the incidents and accidents that took place at turn 1. So yeah, they just need to be careful going into this final set of heats then, that they don't score any more penalties. So the grids are just being worked out for the final heat this evening. And I think we'll be able to show those on the screen right about now. Going to be Nuno Cardoso, Victor Oscarsson, Michael Malik, Gregory Thilson, and Daniel Lundqvist, though I think Daniel Lundqvist has left the server, so he won't be taking part in this heat. It's just going to be the four of them. So we'll just have 4 cars for the first race. I don't think Lundqvist was very happy with his penalty, or his disqualification. So has decided to retire early from this evening's action, even though his best 2 results count. It's slightly confusing. But anyway, off we go. Drivers are ready on the screen, as you can see. We've got Cardoso, Oscarsson, Malik, and Thilson lining up as Daniel Lundqvist rejoins, but too late to join his heat. Anyway, Cardoso and Malik take to the track. Line astern, and Malik still bouncing off the wall. He had a clean track and still managed to find some Armco to crash into. As we head through onto the Joker section, and only one driver electing to take it this time round. It's Victor Oscarsson. And that's Thilson, the new driver for this evening, Gregory Thilson, just ahead of him, who he's got to try and navigate. But it's Michael Malik who leads at this stage, ahead of Nuno Cardoso. We head on to lap 2. So a much more calm start to Heat 3 for everybody. I think everyone was a little bit hot-headed going into the first couple of heats, and Race Control have somehow for now managed to calm everybody down. This is a lot more like it, as Thilson's having an absolute nightmare into the Joker there. In the weeds, has to reverse back out and gets going again. But that will be a little bit embarrassing for Thilson there, as over the start-finish line to start the second half of this race is Michael Malik, credited also with the fastest lap, 42.51. And then into turn 1, clean of any traffic. No drama whatsoever at this stage. As we follow now Nuno Cardoso, who's going to come out alongside, no, just behind Michael after Michael takes the Joker. Back together again. Now they can fight for the win together. But at this stage, it's Michael Malik. Let's see if he's tightened his lines up. Famous for going quite unnecessarily wide around some of the apexes a couple of rounds ago at West Hill. And again, bouncing off the Armco, slowing himself down. That's going to give Nuno potentially a sniff of an overtake, but not at this stage. Michael just a little bit too far ahead. Goes a little bit wide. Nuno with a tighter entry, but Michael with a better exit. And it looks like Michael's got this one all wrapped up. So a fast heat time in Heat 3 could be a good score for Michael. Might promote him out of the C final. He hasn't been able to get out of that C final all season long, but he'll be hoping to be entered into the B final at the very least. Let's see what happens across start finish. A decent race time, considering everything that went on at the beginning. 57, so 5 seconds slower than our fastest heat of the evening. We're just waiting for Thilson to come across the line before we can conclude this race. Just the final hairpin to go for him. And there we go, across the line. So that is the first race of Heat 3 concluded. Michael Malik takes the win, then Cardozo, Oscarson and Tilson. And the grid is already being set for the second race in the third heat, which is going to be contested between Teemu Sarkkinen, Robin Johansson, Martin Palm, Gerard Fournier and Jelle Ducknodder. All the drivers just being asked to join the track. And we will be underway any minute now for the 8th race of the evening. Oscarson has a disqualification after race 1 for contact on lap number 1. So Oscarson, yeah, he already had a warning. So it wasn't a straight disqualification. It was another warning essentially, which has been upgraded to a disqualification. So Victor Oscarson's score from Heat 3, race 1 will not count towards his finals placement. So quick work again from race control to review that, and we will get race 2 of our final heat underway as soon as we can. The drivers doing warm-up donuts on the grid just behind the shot there. And here we go. Teemu Sarkkinen, Robin Johansson, Martin Palm, Gerard Fournier and Jelle Ducknodder take to the grid for race 2 of Heat 3. Here we go. We are green, we are away. Teemu Sarkkinen again starts on the inside line. He had a great last heat race, so let's see if he can do it again. Gerard Fournier on the outside. Martin Palm into the lead. No, but he's forced back down, and it's Fournier who takes the lead into turn 2. Martin Palm there as well. Body slams into Fournier, forces him out of the way, and through comes Johansson as well. Johansson says, nope, you're not going to be coming through either. Goes very wide, takes the joker. So too does Jelle Ducknodder and Gerard Fournier. But Teemu Sarkkinen, after being in the lead for a moment, got forced down to the very back. And he will now try to chase down Martin Palm to try and salvage any time that he can out of this race. Fortunately for him, 3 very aggressive drivers behind him all battling together. In fact, I want to say 2 aggressive drivers. I wouldn't put Jelle Ducknodder in that category. But Gerard Fournier and Johansson, they will not be shy of bouncing into each other at all. As Jelle Ducknodder there drifts a little bit further back at this stage. But it's Martin Palm who leads. Then it's Teemu Sarkkinen. And he's being closed down a little bit here by Johansson, Fournier as well. So who else is going to go through the joker? Nobody else on this lap by the looks of it. No, Martin and Sarkkinen stay out. And Palm has opened up that gap to 2.5 seconds almost. And Teemu is being reeled in by the drivers behind him. That gap has visibly gone down. Just under 1.5 seconds separates P2 from P3. And Teemu's still got to do the joker. So he really needs to get a wriggle on here. Otherwise he's just going to get caught. And it's going to be a painful end to the race for him. As we've got Palm into the joker, and he's going to come out even after doing the joker ahead of Sarkkinen. Sarkkinen should have gone into the joker surely to give himself any sort of chance. Although maybe he just thinks that he just needs one more lap to open up that gap, or maybe Fournier will trip over him. It looks likely at this stage. Let's see. On board from Gerard Fournier's perspective. Oh, it's an interesting line out of the final corner. Couldn't get a good exit. And actually, Sarkkinen has closed up to Palm a little bit, but it's not going to matter. Palm has already been through that joker. Let's watch Sarkkinen go through. Into the joker he will go. And then as he comes out and emerges, he's going to have the sight of Gerard Fournier and Johansson right behind him. There he is. Sarkkinen has managed to get out ahead. Amazing stuff. But it's Palm with an amazing lead at the end. Sarkkinen manages somehow to hold on to P2. That's the story of this race, I think. A very close race and a great race time from everybody. That was a fast heat. Everyone very close across the line. So that's a strong heat. That's going to be a tricky one for Sindra Silva to compete with. 2:54. Teemu Sarkkinen and Martin Palm at the head of this one with Robin Johansson, Fornles, and Jelle Duknoda. For some reason, Sindre Silva joined halfway through the race and is on our results, but he was not part of that race, so he is not classified for this one. And he'll be thankful for that because he got a DNF. So anyway, the 5 drivers there with a very, very strong race time. Race number 2 in Heat 3 is going to be, race 3 in Heat 3. Our final heat race is Tim Duknoda, Sindre Silva, Robin Nilsson, Victor Israels, and Emil Wernersson. And they are away in the background. Let's get the cars on the shot. As again, the cars come together and then bounce back out again. Sindre somehow in the lead. Nilsson hard into the wall, spun around. And it's an absolute disaster of a start once again for these guys. But somehow Sindre Silva has managed to get away unscathed. Tim Duknoda into the side of Victor Israels, forcing him almost to decide to go into the Joker there. Nilsson also into the Joker. Let's see what happens here. But I think Silva, now that he's in the lead, is going to just run away with this. Wernersson had a very, very strong second heat race. So he's going to cause Tim Duknoda some headache for sure. But once you let Sindre Silva in the lead, it's extremely difficult to reel him back in unless he makes a mistake. And mistake isn't something this season that's been in his vocabulary. So everyone's going to work extremely hard to salvage anything from this race. Remember, it is an individual pursuit. All these drivers really need is a fast race time. But wouldn't they love to win? Probably. As Tim Duknoda comes out ahead of Victor Israels then. The last 3, or from P3 downwards, all having served their Joker now. So that's where that fight will end up being. Tim leads, Victor leads Nilsson, and Sindre Silva and Wernersson yet to do the Joker. But Sindre won't need to worry about that just yet. He'll open up the gap probably, as we've seen him do in the last couple of races he's done this evening, as Wernersson. Not the fastest exit out of turn 2, but he's still there. Still very close to the back of Sindre Silva. And both of them decide to continue on. They don't want to come out in this battle. But Tim is doing a great job there in P3, currently holding his own over Victor and Nilsson. As into the final corner comes Sindre Silva to begin his final lap of the heats. Closely followed by Wernersson. Super fast lap from Sindre at 40.94, one of the fastest laps we've seen all night long. He's really on it. He really wants to get pole position in the A final. It's going to be tough work. There's some drivers with fast race times out there tonight. Let's see who's done enough. Into the Joker for Silva. Wernersson will surely follow as well. Yes, he does. But where is Tim? Tim is going to be through and into P2. Great race from Tim Duknoda there. The practice has clearly paid off. Victor in P4. Robin in P5, but it's Sindre Silva who leads out at the very front. Managed to get to the very, very front of the race very early on, as he likes to do, and he crosses the line to win. Tim will be P2. Wernersson will take P3. Then it's Israels and Nilsson, and another very quick heat, but that is the fastest heat time we have seen all night long from Sindre Silva, a 51. Just shows you what he needed to do in that final race. I think that has to be enough to take the pole position in the A final. I'll be very surprised if it isn't. But a 2:51 from Sindre Silva. Tim Duknoda, don't disregard that. That's still a 2-minute 53 race time from him. 2 minutes 53.86. So another very fast time from Tim. But yeah, let's see how that shakes up the order for our grids for the finals. Sindre Silva takes pole in the A final with a 5-minute 44 overall lap combined race time from his best 2 heats, followed by Tim Duknoda, Robin Nilsson, Victor Israels, and Emil Wernersson. Those are your A finalists as it currently stands. In the B final, in the shootout for that final spot in the A final, it's Teemu Sarkinen, Martin Palm, Robin Johansson, Gerard Fornelez, and Nuno Cardozo. The winner of that heat will go through to the A final. Who's going to join the B final? It's going to be one of Jelle Duknoda, Michael Malik, Victor Oscarssons, Gregory Thilson, and Daniel Lundqvist, who will be in the shootout for the final B final slot. So it's still theoretically possible for anybody in tonight's action to qualify and win the A final. We're going to take a couple of minutes to breathe before the drivers get to enjoy their finals, because it's been quite intense. So we'll be back in just a moment's time. In fact, while we have some time, let's do a couple of housekeeping announcements, shall we? We have a big announcement coming at the end of tonight's action, but before then, let's do a little bit of let's not say a smaller announcement, but another announcement. We are very happy to announce that we are going to be covering another series of the Fragmasters GTI Thursday series. That is going to be coming to you once a month from us here on Sim Broadcasts. And here's the trailer. Fragmasters GTI Thursday returns to Sim Broadcasts. We are going to be presenting 12 rounds throughout 2025, starting next week, or rather this week, I guess, if your week starts on a Sunday. Round number 5 on Thursday, the 30th of January at 8 o'clock UTC. That is going to be at Kyoto Ring in the XRG. So if you fancy joining that race, that's GTI Thursday. All the information you can find on the Fragmasters Discord server or the LFS forum. Probably easier to find the information on the Live for Speed forum as usual. So yeah, we look forward to covering more action from GTI Thursday. That's going to be myself and Dave Fraser, better known as Fraz, of course, in the commentary box with me for that. So I can't wait to get that back up and running again. That's not the final announcement coming tonight. We have a big announcement coming at the end of tonight's action, so please stay tuned for what that might be. Ooh. So yeah, looking forward to announcing some big stuff at the end of tonight's broadcast. Stay tuned. Yeah, we've got 1 minute to go before the start of our finals. So let's get a bit of a recap on the finals grids. The first final is going to be that C final, and it's going to be contested between Jelle Dicknodde, Michael Malik, Victor Oskarsson, Gregory Thilson, and Daniel Lundqvist. The winner of that final is going to be promoted into the B final between Timo Sarkinen, Martin Palm, Robin Johansson, Gerard Fuenles, and Nuno Cardozo. The winner of that final will be promoted to the A final to try and defeat Sindra Silva, who has had an absolutely clean run of it so far this season. 4 rounds at the very top of the A final, and he will be alongside Tim Dicknodde, Robin Nilsson, Victor Israels, Emil Wernerson, and theoretically anybody else from tonight's action. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. I always like to see who can make it through. Can anybody make it through from the C final? It's happened before. We've had somebody come from the C final to win the A final before, so it is possible, but it is a super challenge. It could be anyone from tonight's grid, so we wish them all the best of luck. Just waiting for Victor Israels to vacate the track, and we are ready for our C final. Here we go. The cars are on the track with a slightly different formation than we saw in the first couple of races. It's Michael Malik, Jelle Dicknodde, Oskarsson and Thilson, and at the back there, Daniel Lundqvist. Apologies. Ooh. As we get going for the start of the race. And Michael Malik again on the outside. He's had the outside line pretty much every single race so far, and it's a big slam from Daniel Lundqvist, forcing Michael Malik into the wall. The stewards will be very unhappy about that. Lundqvist from the back, nailing off the race leader into the wall. Michael forced all the way down to the back, and it does make you wonder what Lundqvist was thinking there. He's already on a short leash, and I don't see him being allowed to progress into the B final with that, but it will be the steward's decision. But to me, that looked like a foul as we continue on nonetheless. Lundqvist leads ahead of Jelle Dicknodder, and Tilson's hit the wall. He's spun around before the final set of sweeping corners as Daniel Lundqvist heads on to lap 2. But who's in P2 at the moment? It's Jelle Dicknodder who might take over the win of this race at this point. Tilson has removed himself from the action, so just down to 4 cars at this point. And let's see, does Lundqvist decide to do the Joker? No, he stays out. What will Jelle do? Jelle stays out. Daniel Lundqvist has been disqualified already. He's already been disqualified by race control. They got on that immediately. And Lundqvist, although he's continuing, will not be the winner of this one. It could be Jelle Dicknodder. And what a turnout that would be for Jelle as he continues on. Oh, and a bit of a hook at the final apex. But he is still in the lead by quite a distance at this point. Michael Malik just behind, taking a wide line as usual into turn 2. Jelle even wider actually, making it a little bit more difficult for himself as Oskarsson has already served his Joker and is closing in on Michael Malik. So it could be any of these 3 taking the win in the C final as Jelle manages to get out ahead of Oskarsson, and those 2 have done the Joker. So this is your race, folks, between Michael Malik, Jelle and Oskarsson. Lundqvist is still leading the race, but he is disqualified as Malik comes around the final corner to lead, but he has to serve his Joker, and I don't think he has a big enough gap over Jelle Dicknodder at this stage. Can Jelle Dicknodder get into the B final? Has been somewhat anonymous so far this season, hasn't been able to really get a foothold in the series, but at the moment Jelle Dicknodder is on his way to the B final. Michael Malik will peel away. That will allow Jelle to have free track ahead of him, and he just needs to navigate the next 4 corners. And what a story this will be. Jelle Dicknodder, can he manage to get through into the B final? I'll be so happy for him if he can manage it. Let's see what we end up with. Lundqvist will cross the line, but it's not going to be his win. Can Jelle do it? Jelle comes around the final corner onto the final lap, and just 8 turns to go. And it's a good gap. Oh, and Oskarsson smashed into the wall. This is surely it for Jelle Dicknodder. Michael Malik also into the wall. And it's Daniel Lundqvist currently leading, but as I mentioned, he is disqualified. Jelle Dicknodder is looking very solid for the race win here. Jelle Dicknodder, what a clean drive that was. Let's see him past the final set of corners. And yes, he will. He will take the win in the C final. What a great result for him. So there is your C final result. Jelle Dicknodder, Michael Malik, Victor Oskarsson, and DNFs or DQs for Lundqvist and Thielsen. So Jelle Dicknodder is going to be promoted into your B final then. And there you can see that reflected on our graphics as well. The B final will be between Teemu Sarkkinen, Martin Palm, Robin Johansson, Gerard Fornelez, Nuno Cardoso, and Jelle Dicknodder. So we wait as our drivers get ready for the B final then. Drivers just doing a little bit of extra warm-up. A little bit of discussion going on the server after the C final there, as sort of is to be expected. And we have a grid. Front row start for Martin Palm and Teemu Sarkkinen, and we are away already. Martin Palm on the outside, he's been quite used to that. Sarkkinen also used to the inside line, but it hasn't favoured him too well this season. And again, he spun around in a sandwich between Gerard Fornells. There's nothing he could have done. There's not really much anybody could have done at that point. Everyone had pot committed to the kink at the first corner, and Robin Johansson is the car that falls foul at this point. Martin Palmer, dream start. Jelle Ducnodder again up to P2. So from the back to the front, Jelle Ducnodder is having a dream evening at the moment. Cardozo currently in P3, and Teemu Sarkkinen has everything left to do. He is, as far as I'm aware, he's not broadcasting tonight. He's not live on Twitch. He's trying to focus, but you can catch him at Thamuli_. He does broadcast his races quite often. He's not doing it tonight, but his 5-lap final is anything but straightforward right now. He has got 3 cars ahead of him to try and get through. The first is Nuno Cardozo, who's making his car as wide as possible. And contact between Cardozo and Jelle Ducnodder. Cardozo goes through the Joker. Fornells and Johansson have already done that, and Fornells is out ahead of Cardozo, so he will take that position. But it's currently still Martin Palm leading the way in the B final. Jelle Ducnodder still in P2, but being chased down now quite fast by Teemu Sarkkinen. Then it's Sufor and Nuno Cardozo. And Robin Johansson with a lot to do if he wants to qualify for the A final. It's going to be a very, very long road back from there, and I don't see it happening. Martin Palm is already up to the Joker corner. Doesn't take it this time around. Does Jelle Ducnodder take the Joker? Yes, he does. Decides that's enough. Takes the Joker out. Teemu Sarkkinen does not, so he continues around. But Jelle has just come out behind Sufor. Gerard Fornells there takes P3. Oh, but he's hit the wall, and Jelle's been given a free place. Oh, Sufor has... Gerard Fornells has completely removed himself from the race. He has spectated after that incident. He will be livid with himself. But Jelle is given another chance to try and get through from the C final to the A final. Unlikely at this stage with Sarkkinen and Palm ahead, but it's going to happen again at some point. One of these days we'll get a C finalist promoted back to the A final. I love it when that happens. But anyway, Palm onto the penultimate lap. In fact, almost finishing the penultimate lap. Teemu Sarkkinen through the Joker and back out ahead of Jelle Ducnodder. Still, these guys can be pleased with their result if they manage to get a podium in the B final. It's a very, very competitive grid, and as you've seen, it's been marred by big incidents and basically pot luck as to where you end up, pretty much, after the first couple of turns. But great action for us here watching. So Martin Palm, you have to serve your Joker this time around, my friend. And in he goes. And back out onto the final set of corners that he will need to navigate before he gets himself promoted to the A final, barring any penalties. I don't think we'll see anything this race. Just too many cars into one, I think, is the only thing that happened there at the start. I don't think anybody really could have helped that much, but Martin Palm comes around the final corner and he will win the B final and be promoted to the A final. Not enough this time out for Sarkkinen. Unfortunately, not enough for Jelle Ducnodder either. Jelle comes across the line in P3. Johansson, well, that was a bit of a brutal race in the end. He comes across the line in P4, and it's a DNF for Gerard Fornells. And let's get those results on screen for you now. Martin Palm, Teemu Sarkkinen, Jelle Ducnodder, your podium sitters. Robin Johansson, Nuno Cardozo, and Fornells. But Martin Palm is promoted to the A final, as reflected here in our graphics. And the final will be promoted to that man. Will be contested by that man in the background of the shot, Sindra Silva, alongside Tim Ducnodder, P1 and P2 in the championship, battling it out at the front of the A final. Love to see that. Robin Nilsson there, Victor Israel's Emil Wernerson, great performance from him tonight, up into the A final. And Martin Palm made it through just at the final call. here we go then into the final grid for this evening, your A final. And it is Sindra Silva alongside Tim DeKnodder on the front row. What is going to happen here as the drivers go green and we are away? And let's keep an eye on what happens into the first corner. Let's see if they can keep it clean. No, Tim's gone backwards into the wall. Was he pushed? I couldn't quite see, but he's been pushed or something. I don't know what's happened there, but he's into the wall, and with the reverse lights on, that is almost certainly game over for his heat. What a terrible start for Tim. Oh, and into the wall goes Robin Nilsson, forcing Victor Israels to bounce off into the weeds. Wernerson takes to the Joker lap, and my, what a start to the A final. Tim DeKnodder backwards even before he arrived at turn number 1. What a disaster. Sindra Silva, another dream getaway. Who on earth is going to be able to stop him this season? Is anybody going to be able to stop him this season? Maybe it's going to be a perfect run of races for him, as we've got over the start-finish line, banging doors once again. Martin Palm, Victor Israels. Victor Israels takes the position for now. P3 will be his onto lap number 2, and that's Wernerson in the background, who's been strong all evening. Oh, and we've got, who's that? Is that Nilsson? Stationary in the middle of turn 2. What on earth was going on there? I do not know what happened there. I didn't quite see it. It was out of camera shot, but Nilsson was completely stationary and ended up being whacked by Victor Israels. He's now got back ahead of Victor Israels, but what on earth happened there for Robin Nilsson? A free pass for Sindra Silva, who's at the other end of the track, and has done his Joker lap. Martin Palm into P2, but with an absolute crowd of cars behind him who've already done their Joker. Sindra Silva just needs to drive 3 more clean laps, and the 4th round of Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship Season 4 is his, as it has been all season long. No one is up to his level at the moment. Silly mistakes from everybody else by the looks of it at this point in time. But Martin Palm, what can he do? Can he stretch his advantage? No, he decides to go into the Joker now, and that's going to promote Wernerson back up to P2. What an event for Emil Wernerson here. And Tim DeKnodder, after being backwards into turn 1 and reversing most of the way down to turn 2, finds himself back up to P3 in this race. That's a great turnaround and important for his points haul this season. Let's see, can he get through into P2 by the end? He's got some stiff competition behind, but look at this guy. 5 seconds in the lead, no worries at all, and driving himself towards another gold medal position, top step of the podium in MRC's Rallycross Championship. Let's keep an eye out for Tim DeKnodder then. Can he get through on Wernerson? Oh, it's a traffic jam into the Joker corner. Martin Palm is right there and will be very eager to get another podium. And yeah, a bit of contact at the back of Tim DeKnodder there. Palm very, very eager to get through. All of these guys would love to get on that podium. But at the moment, Wernerson is doing the best of the rest performance here in the number 66. And, well, this is probably pretty much the closest set of cars we've had at this stage all evening long. But Emil Wernerson doing just enough at the moment to hang on to P2. Sindra Silva, 6.5 second lead over anybody else. Absolutely ridiculous. Can anybody stop this guy? No, I don't think so. But let's keep an eye on this battle then for P2 on the final lap of the 4th round, the penultimate round of the championship. And Silva's already into the final couple of corners. We're going to have to pan away to watch him across the line, but Tim is really eager to get through. Final corner for Sindra Silva. Just a small flourish to the finish is all he needs, and it's a big drift, and why not? He deserves it. Another clean race, another victory for Sindra Silva. Oh, but it's an absolute pile-up into the final corner, and it's going to be Martin Palm will steal away P2 from everybody else. Wernerson forced around by the looks of it by Tim DeKnodder into the final corner. I'm sure somebody is going to have to review that final corner. We might be able to get it back up on the broadcast potentially, but somebody went for a big send into the final corner, and that's shaken up the order entirely. Tim forced down from P3 down to P4. Victor Israel's promoted to P3, but Wernerson, the big loser out of all of that, pushed down to the very back, and that feels slightly unlucky. The whole A final is being reviewed by Race Control now, so we are going to have to wait for their decision, because somebody's gone for a big lunge in the final corner and has shaken the entire thing up. But at the moment, provisionally and pretty clearly, Sindra Silva has won it. But what on earth the rest of the positions are going to be after that, I have no idea. So we're going to sit and wait for Race Control to confirm everything for us. But that's how it currently stands. Silva wins round 4. in 3 minutes 34. Martin Palm, Victor Israels, Tim Dicknotter, Robin Nilsson, and Emil Wernerson. They're your 6 finishers in the A final. And Sindra Silva setting the fastest lap of the evening, a 40.77. What a time. Unbelievable stuff. Right. While we unravel the aftermath of round 4, let's go and do our big announcement, shall we? The one thing you've all been waiting for. Sindra Silva is currently on the podium, but we are gonna work out what's going off. In fact, I think we may have to postpone our announcement slightly because I think we may already have some answers from race control. So apologies for that. But let's head back to this evening's action. And oh no, we are still reviewing. Okay, we're going to commit to the announcement. So the review is still underway. So apologies for that again. I'm going to play the trailer, and you're going to work it out for yourselves. Enjoy. That's right, E-Challenge returns. We've been waiting for it, and it's finally here. The 2025 season of Master Race Cars E-Challenge is a go. It's going to start in 2 weeks' time, in 2 Sundays' time, on the 9th of February. As far as September, what am I on about? February. I'm getting ahead of myself. And it's all 5 rounds are going to be live here on Sim Broadcasts. We've got 5 tracks, and we've got the addition there of Sao Paulo at the end of the season, a brand new track that Michael Malik has been putting together, part of this series. It's got all the bells and whistles you would expect from E-Challenge going into its 2025 season. We cannot wait to bring you this. It's always a great laugh. Sign up will be available tomorrow on the Live for Speed forum, so please keep your eyes peeled for the sign up threads for MRc E-Challenge. We can't wait to bring you the footage of this in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be absolutely awesome. A lot of people have been waiting a very long time for this. We certainly have been eager to get more coverage of this series on our channel because it's popular. It's a crowd favorite. The drivers that put in the practice and learn all of the tracks and all of the attack modes and the different weather concepts that we have going off in this series, they really enjoy it. And I'm sure that Tom and Travis are going to enjoy commentating on this again, if indeed we see them back in the booth, which we hope we do for the E-Challenge series. We'll confirm all the details over the next couple of weeks, we hope to see you signing up for that very soon. The trailer there put together by Michael Malik, and we'll play it again at the end for your enjoyment. But our big announcement tonight is that Master Race Cars E-Challenge is back for 2025. Sign-ups open tomorrow, and the first round is in 2 Sundays' time on February 9th. So we hope to see you there. I'm waiting to hear whether we've got full confirmation of the results, but in the meantime, I think we'll grab a quick word from Sindra Silva. Sindra, we're still waiting for the final results of the A final, but one thing that can be confirmed is that we're pretty sure that you won it tonight. So congrats. Again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well. I don't think I hit anyone this time, but yeah. We had a little moment there with our warning and stuff like that. We tried to just calm down and just focus on the race. We needed really a good result because of the first incident, so we just had to try, and that was the only opportunity we had as well.
Well, epic stuff. I mean, I don't know if you saw what was going off behind you, but it was a lot of drama, and a lot of drama all night. You didn't have it all your own way. I think it was your second or third heat race was a disaster. Everybody was crashing into each other like crazy. I don't know what you want to comment on that.
I don't know if I should comment anything, but no, I don't really know what's going on. I don't feel my incident was that harsh as well. Of course, I agree with the penalty I got, but the other incidents out there is, I don't know. Someone is losing their mind. I think I don't know. They're all over the place and trying to show something. I don't know, but yeah, it's sad. It's like that, but we will. We're looking forward to the next event, actually, at least.
Apologies for my silence there. I was being talked to by Race Control in my ear, Sindra, that the results have been confirmed, or rather, we're going to have some further investigation after the race. So this is completely provisional, but as far as I'm aware, and from the points, you are also the overall champion already of the 4th season of Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship. So congratulations for that, provisionally. We'll confirm it next week.
Okay, yeah, I didn't see that coming. At least I thought I would need to actually attend the last race, but yeah, it's if it's so, thanks. It's been a fun ride. With of course, it's I've been really lucky, and this event was the one I was really struggling with, and it's a hard T1 here, and second corner coming straight after, and it's grass. It's pretty fun though to drive, but yeah, someone is losing their minds sometimes, and that's how it is. But yeah.
No, well, please still attend next time, because obviously we'd love to see you here for that. But yeah, we have obviously confirmation there of the results, and yeah, it's currently Martin Palm and Nodda who took P2 and 3 in tonight's action. So congratulations to them. And yeah, I mean, going into the final, you don't really have any pressure, but I'm sure you want to make it 5 out of 5 now, Sindra.
Yeah. I don't have the pressure there, but taking round number 5 as well. Of course, it's been fun, but yeah, we will see what we need to focus on. We have a lot going on now with the real life racing as well. I drove an event on sim last night as well, so it's been a hectic this weekend. But we will try to make it into the next weekend as well.
All right, well there we go. That's great to hear. I mean, I hope that we get to see you next week, and we are gonna turn over to Tim Nodda now, I think. But yeah, Sindra, thank you very much for joining us here in the commentary box, and we'll hopefully see you next time. Congrats again.
Thanks for bringing this show going. It's fun to have you guys broadcasting this, like the way you guys are doing, and putting up an awesome event like this. It's magic.
It's fine. We're happy to do it. We're glad to be here. So yeah, from all of us here, thank you very much. We'll see you next time.
We will.
Tim joins us now in the commentary box. Tim, that was dramatic. But yeah, you got P3 overall in the end, and we'll see if anything changes as we move forward.
Yeah, it was an insane final for me. In T1, I got collected, and I was all the way at the back, and it was a catch-up race from that point on.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to be happy with how the series is going. It's super competitive. A few incidents here and there, but you know, in terms of the event and the spectacle, it's certainly all there. We've got everything here, and a champion crowned potentially.
Yes, champion is crowned, so it will be fun to see how it evolves and how next round goes. I still hope for my win. I had hoped to have it this time, but yeah, the final didn't go the way I wanted to.
Well, I mean, P3 currently on the standings. We'll see if that changes, but you know, some positives to take. Your pace was definitely there this evening, so your practice has certainly paid off.
Yeah, I hope so. I trained a lot for it. I just hope I can be competitive on the next round as well as I was here, and hopefully have a bit more luck in the heats and in the start of the final.
Yeah, Well, certainly we hope to see it. I mean, we've got Westhill next time out. I'm sure this is a track that you're looking forward to driving again. It was popular at the last season, so yeah, hopefully you get a good run at it this time as well.
Yeah, I hope as well. I didn't see Jonathan this season yet. If you remember the incident we had on the lap 1 of the A final last year. So I hope to avoid such hard stop moments.
Well, my memory's not as good as yours, but hopefully we don't have any heart-stopping moments. So, yeah, that would be for the best, I think. But anyway, thank you very much, Tim. As always, thank you for, of course, putting all this event together. And P3 is not bad. I mean, it might even change into P2. You never know. So, we'll see you next time.
Till next time, Pete. Thanks for the broadcast.
All good. Thank you very much. All of that, and we are going to wrap things up. Yeah, some big announcements tonight. Of course, we are continuing our involvement in the coverage of the Fragmasters GTI Thursday series here in Live for Speed. That is going to be coming up on Thursday, the 30th of January, for the first round that we're covering, round 5 of the championship at Kyoto Oval in the XRG, and then of course the return of Master Race Cars E-Challenge. That's going to be coming up in 2 weekends' time, and you can sign up from tomorrow. That pretty much does it. Let's talk about the next and final event in this championship. Master Race Cars Rallycross Championship concludes in a week's time on February 2nd at Westhill RX2. We can't wait for it, and we hope to see you there. From all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, have a great evening, and we'll see you next time. Good night.